Okay, next text. Peter asks Mary to teach. Peter said to Mary, "Sister, we know that the Saviour loved you more than all other women. Tell us the words of the Saviour that you remember, the things you know that we don't, because we haven't heard them." Mary responded, "I will teach you about what is hidden from you." And she began to speak these words to them. So the disciples are asking Mary to share with them what Jesus taught her in private, understanding that Mary had a greater understanding of the teachings of Jesus than they did. So here they're asking Mary to share with them the secret teachings of Jesus. Okay. Mary discusses vision and mind. She said, "I saw the Lord in a vision, and I said to him, 'Lord, I saw you today in a vision.' He answered me, 'Blessed are you for not wavering at seeing me. For where the mind is, there is the treasure.' I said to him, 'So now, Lord, does a person who sees a vision see it with the soul or with the spirit?' The Saviour answered, 'A person does not see with the soul or with the spirit. Rather, the mind, which exists between these two, sees the vision. And that is what?" Final bit here is missing. Now, here we have Mary sharing with the disciples a private encounter of her and Jesus, where she states to Jesus she's seen Jesus in a vision. Now she's saying that, "I seen you," but this means I seen the soul within you, the true Saviour within. So Jesus is saying that she's blessed as she was able to see the true reality within the animated body. So the true spiritual nature. So she was able to see Jesus' spiritual nature, the true him. And that she truly understood this, and thus she was not scared. So where the mind is, there is also the treasure. This is meaning that the nature of the spiritual image is the true image. So our spiritual being within. So this meaning the sacred being within is our inner God, is the Christ within, the child of God. Now, Mary is asking Jesus, where did the vision come from? From the soul or the spirit? Where Jesus is stating that the dream is not seen by the naked eye. Rather, the soul sees the dream, and the spirit of understanding is what produces the images from the subconscious mind. So here we have nothing existing outside the mind of God, that you are a mind, that you are a divine mind, that you are a divine being. So everyone is a divine being. Within us is the divine source, is the source of God. So now, Jesus is also stating that the mind is a treasure. So this also means going within, to shift one's conscious level, to shift one's mindset, to be reborn. So again, going within to reshape yourself, to reprogram yourself, to connect with the spirit and to be who you're meant to be, a true human being of love and compassion. Okay, next text. Mary describes the ascent of the soul. The start bit missing. It, and Isaiah said, "I did not see you go down. Yet now I see you go up. So why do you lie, since you belong to me?" The soul answered, "I saw you. You did not see me, nor did you know me. You mistook the garment I wore for my true self, and you did not recognize me." After it had said these things, it left, rejoicing greatly. Again, it came to the third power, which is called ignorance. It examined the soul closely, saying, "Where are you going? You are bound by wickedness. Indeed, you are bound. Do not judge." And the soul said, "Why do you judge me? Since I have not passed judgment, I have been bound, but I have not bound anything. They did not recognize me, but I have recognized that the universe is to be dissolved, both the things of earth and those of heaven." When the soul had brought the third power to naught, it went upward and saw the fourth power. It had 7 forms. The first form is darkness. The second is desire. The third is ignorance. The fourth is zeal for death. And the fifth is the kingdom of flesh. The sixth is the foolish wisdom of the flesh. The seventh is the wisdom of the wrathful person. These are the 7 powers of wrath. They interrogated the soul. Where are you coming from, human killer? And where are you going, destroyer of realms? The soul replied, saying, what binds me has been slain, and what surrounds me has been destroyed, and my desire has been brought to an end, and ignorance has died in a world. I was set loose from a world, and in a type from a type that is above, and from the chain of forgetfulness which exists in time, for this hour on, for the time of the due season of the age, I will receive rest in silence. After Mary said these things, so this means that within every soul is darkness, that our souls were originally good, perfect, but due to the interactions with this corrupted world, our souls became corrupted over time. Thus we took control of our souls and corrupted it. So meaning that we need to revert back to our spiritual nature, which is the true inner goodness. So meaning to overcome the ignorance, desires, and overcoming the lower archetypes of ourselves. So if you notice, these things that the soul ascends beyond have names as desire and ignorance. So this means overcoming the lower self and ascending to a higher being. So giving birth to the being within. So a rebirth of self, the resurrection of self, being reborn as a child of God. So reverting back to our spiritual nature. Now, this also involves knowing right from wrong, to reflect within, to seek within, to build a personal relationship with the spirit within, with the soul, to understand the humanity within you, to understand the Son of God within you. To enact your spiritual nature is to enact love, to seek knowledge and light, to seek within, to find the knowledge and light within you. Okay, so next text. The disciples dispute over Mary's teaching. Andrew responded, addressing the brothers and sisters, say what you will about the things she has said, but I do not believe that the Saviour said these things, for indeed these teachings are strange ideas. Peter responded, bringing up similar concerns. He questioned them about the Saviour. Did he then speak with a woman in private without our knowing about it? Are we to turn around and listen to her? Did he choose her over us? Then Mary wept and said to Peter, my brother Peter, what are you imagining? Do you think that I have thought up these things by myself in my heart, or that I am telling lies about the Saviour? Levi answered, speaking to Peter, Peter, you have always been a wrathful person. Now I see you contending against the woman like the adversaries. For if the Saviour made her worthy, who are you then for your part to reject her? Surely the Saviour's knowledge of her is completely reliable. That is why he loved her more than us. Rather, we should be ashamed. We should clothe ourselves with the perfect human, acquire it for ourselves as he commanded us, and announce the good news, not laying down any other rule or law that differs from what the Saviour said. After he said these things, they started going out to teach and to preach. Now here we have the disciples disputing amongst themselves, as it was a very male-dominated society at this point. And the disciples struggled to understand the teachings of Jesus as they wanted a warlike Messiah. Peter accuses Mary of lying, has similar thoughts to Andrew, where Mary is weeping and crying because she is offended, claiming that she didn't make this up, that she couldn't. These teachings had to come from within, and she heard them from Jesus himself. And she's merely just giving what she was told, and she was trying to help them understand the teachings within, that they too can be Christ-like themselves. Now, this is why Levi stuck up for Mary, saying that we should acquire the perfect man for ourselves and be ashamed of how we're acting. We're doing the opposite of what Jesus is teaching. So to be a perfect human being, this may not be forever, this may be temporary, so you do something that is above you. So the disciples working together are able to reflect the being of Christ within them, the being of God. So together we can do great things. So they're trying to bring people together in spirituality, in terms of the spirit and the soul within, to find God within them, to seek the true spiritual teachings within. Now, when Levi says to Peter that you treat Mary like the adversaries, meaning that you're treating Mary like those who persecute us and who argue against us, rather we should be focusing on the good. And this is why Jesus loved her more than us, because she was able to understand the teachings of Jesus. And we were bickering amongst each other over the interpretations, rather letting the Spirit guide us from within. So to build a personal relationship with God is to go within yourself. To know yourself is to know God. So to find the humanity within you, to be a child of God yourself. So thank you so much for joining us on the Gnostic Catholic Union. Please like and subscribe as it helps the channel grow. You can also find us on Facebook, and you can also check out our website www.thegnosticcatholicunion.org, and you can also find us on Google. Many blessings.